Well, can I get a zoom in?
Yeah, that'd be nice. We might just be way out here, whoa.
Outer space.
Outer space, man. It's hey.
Nate is a nice guy. He likes to wave at the passer go-bys.
Well, he works here, so he can do Jacob's job.
Oh, so
zoom us in.
Yeah, we might need him to
zoom us.
Zoom.
I think Acadiana needs to see these faces.
How about how's it going?
Face.
How's it going, Nate? Form, arms, and legs. Oh, wait, no. Form, arms, and chest. Is that how it goes? Form, feet, and legs. And I'll form the head. Voltron.
Oh, I missed
Voltron?
Voltron. I missed Voltron. Come on in. Come on in.
I was going to keep the magic alive.
Yes, we were actually waving at you to see if you could possibly zoom us. Which, are we on the air?
Yeah.
All right, because we've been bantering with our, big audience that we have out there in Acadiana.
Hey, what's your name, man?
Matt.
Form, legs, and body. Is that how it goes?
I did not watch Voltron.
Form,
Don't ask
feet,
me.
and legs.
I don't remember.
And I'll form the head. Voltron.
Was Voltron kind of like Autobots or something like that?
There were some cats, remember?
Okay, the Wildcats.
Yeah, and they would
Thundercats.
They would get together and
That's
form Voltron.
something different, though.
It was
Thundercats
awesome.
was different.
Thundercats is different, yeah.
Okay. Well, we've established that. Thank you very much, Matt.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Matt.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Higher Thought. Of course, we're just kind of throwing stuff together here last minute, as usual.
Well, what's new? Yeah.
But that's how you have a great show.
Actually, what's new is my hair.
What's new is the haircut. So we want to get your thoughts, Acadiana.
Can you call in?
Yeah, you can call in.
Live. 337-366-8950.
We are competing with, the opening night of football season.
Hey, I got to say that Nate A called it. He called Kevin Owens. Like a long time ago, man. So,
with wrestling.
That was awesome.
Kevin Owens.
That was awesome. You called that.
It's the Kevin Owens show on Monday night. But
that must have been about 3 months ago you called that. You were like, you know what? This guy, he has a story to tell. And I was like, damn.
Which, folks, if you are a wrestling fan, we do a wrestling show at 9 o'clock tonight. So be sure to tune into that. Sports Entertainment Tonight starts at 9. But right now it's 6 o'clock, Acadiana, and it is time for Higher Thought. My name is Nate A.
I'm Chris Cadley.
Which they call him Lek. Yeah.
We're
Whoa, right.
I don't know what that means.
We were talking to aliens just now. Aliens.
They're coming down to save you.
Which, speaking of aliens, there has been a lot of UFO sightings recently.
Well, recently, can you believe that there has been this amount of UFO sightings compared to back in the 60s and 70s, Nick, whenever UFO sightings were like,
whoa.
Oh my God, everybody sees them.
Yeah,
but now,
you got my cornfield.
But now all of a sudden, everybody has a phone or anything to to see these, and now all of a sudden they're starting to see these aliens.
Well, of course.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, and I mean, the one that I saw recently was actually the Facebook missile that they were going to shoot out into space. Well, I got that right.
Oh,
here.
no.
The Falcon 9 rocket.
Oh, it blew up, right?
Yeah, but they had an unidentified object and apparently maybe shoot it down.
Oh, God.
And then they showed a slow motion picture.
No, I never saw that part.
It incinerated and stuff. I don't know.
I never saw that part.
But I don't know. I mean, YouTube the video.
Should I not product place this? Let's see.
Well, I got mine outside of the screen. I guess that's the way the camera's pointed. But apparently that Facebook rocket was going to be for free internet or something like that. But yeah, right.
What's going to happen was they were going to have internet in Africa.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so not. I'm sorry, Africa.
Since when does Facebook start building rockets?
Well, they didn't. They didn't. It was SpaceX.
Hi.
SpaceX built rockets, and that is Elon Musk. Is that his name? Elon Musk, I think. And Africa wanted some internet. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, Africa needs some internet. I mean, we're all online nowadays.
Why not Africa?
Right, which, I mean, the internet is different in every country, I suppose. Like in certain countries, I mean, you can't get on certain websites,
Yeah.
and the government pretty much monitor, which, not that the government monitors what we do at all. But, yeah, this is Higher Thought. We talk a lot of politics.
Higher thought.
Yeah, put two and two together, folks. Yeah, big news in the conspiracy world. Well, it's almost the 15th anniversary of 9/11. Which kind of just reshaped our world into this.
Ricola.
It recollad things up, is what it did.
It makes me look up. I don't know. I want to look up. I want to look at.
Look directly into
Yeah.
Acadiana's soul and spirit. But, yeah, 9/11, 15 years. So we're going to talk a little bit about some 9/11 tonight.
9/11. Guys, where were you? Where were you?
Where were you on 9/11
When those
happened?
planes hit the building, where were you? I was in the Bisbanas. Do you know Bisbanas?
I was like at 9 in the morning, huh?
And I was cleaning up after all the mess that y'all left behind. I was cleaning, and then all of a sudden, I turned the TVs on. And then I was just like struck with this feeling. I was like, you know what? Let me go sign up for the war. Because I was like, I'm young.
Oh,
what was
yeah.
I?
A bunch of Americans
20
were
years
about
ago.
it at that
Yeah, I was
time.
like,
It's like,
oh.
hey, you don't mess with America.
And I took their test and everything, and they were adamant. They were very adamant about getting me on to go, like,
Well, you got the hair for it,
to
you
go
know.
shoot people, and I was like, you know what? On second thought,
Well, sure. But 9/11 has been 15 years. Makes me feel kind of old.
you are old, dude.
Yeah. I was actually a freshman in college when that happened, and I was in like Sociology 101 or something like that, taking a class whenever it happened. So, yeah, as we mentioned, we're going to kind of get into some of the 9/11 conspiracy. But another thing that's been going on that hasn't really gotten much media attention, that's why we're here to talk about it, is this Dakota pipeline that they're building.
Oh, the Indians.
Yeah, and the Indians are staging pretty much the largest protest in Indian history since, like, we've pretty much killed off most of their society.
I saw a YouTube video of them, like, manhandling.
Oh, yeah, and apparently they've hired mercenaries that are, like, sicking their dogs on the Indians, and so, like, they had, like, an Indian that, it was like a kid that, like, got bit in the face and mauled by, like, a dog.
Seen that, and there was blood in the dog's face, and
Man.
like it was like like the blood was dripping down the dog's face, and the dog was like waiting for the next kill from like whoever was handling the dog.
Oh, yeah, I mean, the dog's trained to do that. You can't hate on the dog, but,
Right.
I mean, ultimately, the pipeline is being built just outside of their land. So it's technically not on their land. However, most of the water that they drink comes from, I guess, north of that. And so it's going to basically infest their water. So they are protesting for the right to have clean water. Which, speaking of which, recently Nestle's CEO got caught saying a quote saying that human beings don't have a right to water.
Nestle is pretty bad in this situation.
Yeah, I mean,
And they always have been. It was like, this is my water. Do you want to pay for my water or not? And it's like, no, it's just water. All right, well, I mean, then I'll take my water and you don't pay for it.
well, bottled water is kind of a new invention, folks. It wasn't around until, the late 70s, early 80s.
Nick, tell us about bottled water. How?
Well, I mean,
it's really not good for you, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a sham. If you look on the bottom of the water bottle, it has a little sign that says PET. That's from the plastic in the bottle, and pretty much whenever that bottle gets heated up or frozen or in any kind of alternate state, and it releases chemicals in the water that apparently lower your testosterone levels, raise your estrogen levels, cause cancer, etc.
I mean, check it out. I mean, we're not lying to you.
Yeah, they have a good documentary online called Tapped. I show it to my students sometimes.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Well, and it even kind of outlines how basically even during a drought, where human beings aren't allowed to have access to water. We can't, water our lawns or anything. Can't get car washes. These corporations are pumping like millions of gallons of our water, and they have more access to the water than we do. So, yeah, it's pretty crazy. So, I mean, I'm with the Indians on this one. I don't know about you.
Yes. I mean, have we done enough to them already?
Yeah, I mean, like, are we just trying to eliminate them all together?
Well, yeah, there's a pipeline.
But it just gets back to, man, like the UN is kind of running the show. They're running our government, and they don't give a crap about the American people. They're just they're taking care of their corporations, poisoning people, poisoning our water, and trying to sell us bottled water, which basically is just tap water, filtered tap water that they just bottle.
But guess what? Nobody even talks about it or knows about it, right?
Well,
it's just another way for the Americans to put the douchebag over the Indians' face hole.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe build a casino there or something, right?
I guarantee.
Here, have a casino.
Yeah.
And the Indians don't want any more casinos. They want water. Who am I to speak for them? But
Nestle is bad. Just check them out. Go Google that. I don't know, but they're bad.
Well, did you know that apparently there is now a Blue Lives Matter law where you can't talk trash to cops anymore?
Well, I did see that they in a high school they did the Blue Lives Matter because it was Cop Week. It was national. I think it was National Cop Week or something like that.
Sure.
And they did a little. Schools have the little blackboards that you can put stuff up and.
All right, of course.
And they had the Blue Lives Matter, and then a bunch of students put Black Lives Matter stuff all over it, and I did see that. So.
Well, yeah, but this past week, they apparently some guy in New Orleans that he was getting arrested for public indecency, yada yada yada. But he got added onto his charge to where it was instead of a $5,000 bond, it was a $15,000 bond for a hate crime. Apparently for a Blue Lives Matter law, to where he called the cop effing Pussy.
Whatever, okay.
Yeah, and a faggot.
That's his right.
And so basically they charged him for a hate crime against a cop for basically his First Amendment right to be able to tell the cop whatever he wants.
Huh. Okay.
So, I mean, is it a crime to hurt cops' feelings now?
Well, no, it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be.
No.
But apparently it is because somebody in New Orleans is being charged on it right now.
Okay, all right. Well, it may be getting out of hand, Nede.
So, yeah, and I mean, we've seen where it's George Soros said a couple weeks ago he was hacked, and he pretty much runs Hillary for the most part. He's kind of the puppet master for her.
Mm-hmm.
But
he has billions of dollars.
Yeah, needless to say, it was, he pretty much got caught in I guess they leaked a document that he was saying that the Black Lives Matter is pretty much a front just to bring in, martial law and militarized police, So, don't believe the hype, folks. That's what we tell you here on Higher Thought.
And don't forget to slam on your brakes.
Slamming on your brakes.
I slam on your brakes.
Then I had to slam on my brakes a lot on the way here,
Well,
but hey,
was
it's
it
5 o'clock traffic.
Was it in Kingston or was it?
Kingston? Where
Yeah, I don't
at?
know.
Scott. Yeah. No, I was coming from New Iberia, slamming on my brakes, to Lafayette, where I'm slamming on my brakes. everywhere.
Drew Brees will slam on your brakes.
But speaking of them popos, apparently they've been creating fake accounts on Facebook as well. So whenever you get that like friend request from the hot chick that only has like 3 friends, and join Facebook, they say in 2009, but they like don't have any pictures, maybe like 1 or 2 pictures. It's probably a popo, and they're stalking.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where he's going, but call in at 337-366-8950 and let us know.
We usually got a little fancy thing across the screen that says that.
Where's Jacob?
But Jacob, our esteemed producer here at AOC, is covering the Lafayette City Council meeting.
Oh, we definitely got to have that done, right?
The City Council meeting takes precedent over our conspiracies. Which it's kind of funny how liars become politicians and the people that tell the truth become conspiracy theorists. Huh? So another
something to take a look at, ladies and gentlemen. Do liars become politicians? Good liars, and
I think honestly
they usually become lawyers first, right?
Yeah, most politicians are lawyers, and so they pretty much run everything. But to a certain degree, I think a lot of politicians get in like wanting to do good.
Yeah.
But it's just like they got a bunch of money flashed at them, a bunch of like boobies. And,
Donald Trump was never a lawyer.
well, I mean, he's done some pretty shady stuff as a businessman, and they've had a bunch of people call him out on that. Let's see, a couple other things we could talk about. Google can record everything you say, so there's a way to turn it off apparently on your phone, but like it's like a microphone, like you have to go to your settings and like turn off the microphone, but they can pretty much record everything you say from the phone.
Well, sometimes I do tend to master WAP with the camera on.
Haha, with the camera on?
Yeah, might be.
It goes in the cloud, man. No, never mind.
All right.
I was gonna say something, but yeah, probably not PG-13 for you guys. Let's see. Should we be able to have a none of the above choice in our elections? And if none of the above wins, get some new people in there.
So, are you telling me that it would just be Congress? It would just be
Maybe for president.
no
to start.
executive. Yeah, no executive. It would just be like the checks and balance would just be Congress, the
Like the president.
justice, and not the executive. But are you saying that there would be no more checks and balances?
No, I would just say that on the election ticket, you got Hillary Clinton, you got Donald Trump, and you got none of the above. If
Right.
none of the above beats Hillary
So
and
there would
Donald,
be no executive.
then let's just restart it. And Obama, I guess, would stay president until they
Oh,
got
gross.
another one. Yeah, I just
no.
thought that one out too.
No.
Yeah, because then they would obviously make it to where none of the above would always win, and we'd have King Obama.
Hillary is Obama's little sister, so.
Alright, well, yeah, it's a dirty family. But yeah, whenever there's a big story in the media, folks, just look for another one that's really going on. They're trying to distract you from. Last week we were worried about somebody standing up for the Pledge of Allegiance or something, or Star Spangled Banner. Well, there's all kind of other stuff going on.
And now they are like starting to support him, saying that he has this great. And to believe it or not, if he wanted a national stage, he got it. You know what I mean?
Are we talking about Trump?
Kaepernick.
Oh, Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Okay.
If he wanted the national stage, he got it.
Well,
100%.
and a lot of other players are doing it now too.
I know. I saw that soccer player. Man, whatever.
Meh. Which apparently the San Francisco police said that they weren't going to work any 49ers games until they got their act together or something like that.
That's
so.
pretty cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, pretty interesting. I'm sure they'll just hire a private security team, So.
Who else plays for the 49ers, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, Colin Kaepernick and who else?
I actually drafted a couple Niners. Let's see.
Who else plays?
I could tell you.
Is it Crabtree, maybe?
Carlos Hyde, the running back, because I drafted him on my fantasy team. Carlos Hyde. Go Carlos Hyde!
I'm just saying. All right. You know, they're saying that his jersey is like in record numbers right now, selling off like hotcakes. But guess what? Half of those people that are buying those jerseys are
burning them.
So.
They're going to buy one to burn. I need to buy one to burn.
Actually, I would buy one just to have it, right?
Yeah.
Like memorabilia.
So, interesting statistic here. In the United States, there's 3.5 million homeless people.
Is that million with an M?
Million! And 18.6 million vacant homes that have gone in foreclosure. And actually, I don't know if you remember from that cartoon that we watched, Thomas Jefferson actually said that. You know,
Million!
Well, no, he said that, you know, if we let these bankers take control of our country, then one day we'll wake up homeless on the, you know, on the land that our fathers conquered, you know.
But nobody paid attention and or listened, so here we are.
Yep, and all the while there's 492 billionaires in the United States.
Is that all?
And unfortunately, none of them are Batman.
What's his name?
Bruce Wayne?
Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I mean, can we get a Bruce Wayne billionaire, please? I mean, if you're gonna be greedy and have all the money, CEOs, at least like make some like cool costume, like a what do they call the belt? Utility belt, you know, where you
Bruce
can.
Wayne friends with Bruce Banner? I know that's DC versus Marvel, so I mean.
Which Banner is Hulk, right?
And he also was very smart, and then like some gamma rays like messed him up. And he became the Hawk. But Bruce Wayne, Bruce Banner, I think maybe, I gotta say, folks, Marvel stole a lot from DC. So,
Yeah.
just saying.
I'm
that.
sure they both
Call
stole
in,
one from
tell
each
us,
other.
Tell us.
Tell us about it.
337-366-8950.
That is the number, folks. As we mentioned, usually it's on the bottom of the screen. We know you're just getting home. We know you're taking your after-work poopy and shower, you know. Shower and shave, maybe even. Your wife's got the macaroni and cheese on the grill.
Nice. On
you
the
know.
grill.
I don't
Isn't that
know,
awesome?
man.
That would be grilled macaroni and cheese. That would be awesome.
What? You know, maybe you got your daughter doing your dishes. So, you know, I mean, hey, you got us on in the background. Hey, you, the guy with the TV on, watching us in the background. Turn us up, call us live, 366-8950.
366-8950. What do you think about this jersey? And do you believe that he gets credit for all that money?
Drew Brees.
That's a lot of cash, dude.
Yeah, well.
Of course he has the ability to become a politician if he wanted to. Of course he could do whatever he wanted in Louisiana. Don't get me wrong.
And Texas. And probably California.
You know what? Anywhere in the States, probably. But, man, that's a lot of cash, Nate.
44 mil guaranteed. It's a 5-year contract, which technically they said it's basically a 2-year contract. And in the NFL, you don't get paid for what you're going to do. You get paid for what you've already done. And Drew Brees is a future Hall of Famer. He's won a Super Bowl.
All right, now he said that. I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality. Last year, Peyton Manning, you know, was the highest paid.
You get paid for what you've already done?
Yeah. That's pretty much how it goes. It's your contract year, so you have a good year and you get paid for it.
I guess he's right because, ladies and gentlemen, we're probably going to stink this year. So.
Well, 2 of our main defensive linemen got injured in the preseason. So.
Yeah, we'll probably stink for the next 2 years, to be honest.
I sure hope not. Because I got some tickets, you know. I like going to the games, and it's much funner whenever you know, win. Because, you know, I mean, I used to definitely let it affect me more, but, like, you would feel that whole Saints loss all week until about Friday when you get ready for the next game, you know.
Oh, my goodness, Nate. Speaking of loss, that Tiger, God.
Oh, Tigers, come on. Les Miles, you're already on the hot seat.
My goodness.
And they got a bunch of people already calling for Les Miles' head.
Oh.
We talk sports on this show, too, so Katie, Anna,
What was it?
call in. Bash Les Miles.
Was it
366
first and 15, right?
First and 15.
Just throw it away.
Oh
Throw it
yeah,
away.
that interception was terrible. Which
my
yeah, if can we have like a member of ISIS like come and just take Brandon Harris?
What if we
Yeah.
had a do-over for like every football team? You get one do-over. Wouldn't that?
Mulligan?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be nice. But you know, LSU is just—it's like they run their goal line offense like the whole field. You know,
What's
like,
LSU gonna do? Oh, they're gonna run
Like-
the ball. I
Well-
told you this. I was talking to you earlier. I was like, Nate, is there something special? I mean, do you, as a quarterback, all you have to do is make sure you throw it away, right?
well, he like spun out of that little sack and then he just threw it up.
My point is that you don't have to be special to run the ball.
But how does that quarterback have?
If you got 8 men up front or 9, even 9 in the box, I mean, come on.
How does that quarterback have any confidence? Because like all he does is hand it off all day, and then
Exactly.
you know, and then maybe throws some dinks and dunks and then a bomb every now and again. That's all they do. There's no
Hey,
like.
I wonder what LSU's going to do this time. They got 8, 9 in the box. It doesn't matter. Come on.
Well, and like you know,
It's time to switch it up a little bit. They call him what? The Gambler or something? What's Les Miles
Mad
called?
Hatter.
Whatever. He's not.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, would it hurt LSU to like get in the shotgun and like run like a speed sweep or something like that, or a zone read?
Obviously, it would.
You know, I mean, kind of like you don't have to run the goal line the whole way down the field. Yeah, Leonard Fournette's awesome.
Right.
Our offensive line's
And they're
awesome.
expecting Leonard Fournette every time. Poor
But you
thing-
got to be perfect
Poor thing,
every
he gets
time.
hurt.
You got to get perfect. You know, blocking perfect.
Yeah.
You know, when you got 5 guys blocking 9. You know,
Oh my goodness, dude.
so.
I'm sick of it. I'm sorry.
Well, and a lot of LSU fans are. So, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, have you seen, did you see Hillary on Labor Day with her coughing fits?
Oh my goodness. And like I
Yeah,
saw
she
that
had coughed for like 2 hours straight.
It wasn't 2 hours. It was 5
Well, you
minutes.
know,
but like
but-
I saw her like spit something, some kind of goo, like a phlegm goo, into her cup.
Well, she did at the like actual speech, and then she went on her plane, and she's got a bunch of press on her plane, and she sat and coughed on her plane for like 10 minutes.
I
you know?
thought that was ridiculous, dude.
Yeah, well, and like she probably is like going to like a deprivation tank or something in her plane, and probably has like oxygen and cocaine and whatever she needs to get her back on track. You know.
Does a presidential candidate should when you have tuberculosis, whatever it is,
Well, and you
Should
heard
you
Dr.
be the
Drew got
president?
fired from his job because he
my
called
goodness.
Hillary out on her health issues.
Ugh.
You know, and
I'm
let's see.
surprised he didn't die.
Who else of Hillary's enemies have died recently? Let's see. WikiLeaks. Julian Assange's lawyer found dead. Let's see. Another one that I saw. Where was that? Oh yeah, it was the CIA. Oh yeah, MI6, a spy. Gareth Williams found dead in a bag. Apparently, he had hacked one of Hillary's secrets.
Of course he did.
You know, so yeah, which it's kind of the the Clinton mafia continuing its reputation.
Wow, man, aren't you guys tired of Acadiana? Aren't you sick of Bush, Clinton? I mean, like
Obama.
Does it really? I mean, is that really something that you think about? Is that something that you want to do and vote for? Let's get them out of here.
These rich fat cats.
Let's get them out of here, man.
Yeah, and apparently I read that we have sent a few more billion over to Iran after our initial little shipment to them. So I guess
1.7 billion, something like that.
Yeah, we've like sent, but I've heard we like sent even more.
And it
since
wasn't
then. Now
just
it's like
American
over like 3
cash.
billion.
Like it was denominations of like every like it was.
Apparently we were in pretty big debt to them for something.
I don't know, but like we didn't just send money over there just to get some hostages. They like demanded that we give them. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
they
well, then
demand-
they're claiming it's for hostages. I think it's for something like we maybe blew up
Right.
something and were liable for it and had to pay them back for it. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Who
needless to
knows?
say, yeah, it's not what they're telling us, you know. So, Yeah, I read a really interesting article this week. I follow Anonymous on Facebook. They have some very interesting articles. I don't buy it all. Definitely, I mean, I've even read certain places that the CIA even runs Anonymous. Who's like this, it's got the Guy Fawkes V for Vendetta mask. It's trying to create a revolution. But anyways, the article I read was basically a history and a timeline of the Rothschild family and how they came into power from, let's see, where was it? History of the House of the Rothschilds is what it's called, if you want to look it up. It was from 1743 to 2006, and it was like a timeline of how like their banks pretty much came into power, fighting against certain governments to, gain control over their finances. It's a very long but a very interesting read, and I would recommend it.
Awesome, dude.
Awesome, dude. Y'all got the stupid football pregame show on right now. That's what they're doing. They're getting their nachos ready. Whose chips and cheese are they, folks? Nachos.
Slamming on my nachos.
Yep. So that's almost about all of my political things that we got. Oh, Constitution says you can legally overthrow a tyrannical government. It's legal. Yeah. Many politicians.
That's Second Amendment.
Well, yeah, and many politicians. I saw like a little clip video of a bunch of different politicians on the floor of Congress, pretty much just like pleading, like, okay, well, the American people need to wake up and realize, what y'all are doing, and like it's like pretty much stumping on the floor, asking for a revolution from the people, and we're just not doing it. Because, hey, we're busy texting, we're busy Pokemoning, we're busy maddening, watching football.
Isn't that the truth, man?
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
We don't want to face that reality.
At any point, right now, we could do it.
We could. I mean, because we outnumber these rich fat cats drastically, like 99-1, pretty much.
We choose not to.
And basically, what it's going to take is us being attacked, and like somebody bombing us. Just like you said in 9/11, you were ready to go and enlist. That's what it's going to take in this country to get people that mad.
It's almost like the terrorism has to come right here at home, right? It's like
it's here, folks.
We see it going. We see the Sharia law, and like we see it overseas. But once it hits here into your schools, it's already starting. Am I lying? It's already starting in the schools here in the United States, Nate. Tell me I'm wrong.
It is, unfortunately, and we've got, and this was actually in that article about the Rothschilds and how they were planning the three world wars back in like the late 1800s.
And guess what? They did plan it.
And the third one was about, dividing against the Muslims.
The Rothschilds actually backed both sides of the war with money.
They financed both sides, yeah. Their mother is quoted, or one of their, I guess, great-grandmas at this point, was quoted as saying, if there's a war going on, it's because my kids, pretty much wanted it to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was right.
Yeah, exactly. It's like...
and guess what? They probably offed her. Mom, what are you saying?
Yeah, and it's all a load of malarkey. So, it's just a big old thing. But many politicians are pleading for us to wake up. They're pleading for us to have a revolution against this government. But we're just sitting here and wagging off. Yeah.
On Thursdays, I usually do, but we'll see.
Yeah. So there's also multiple cures for cancer that are known, proven.
Oh,
cure
an
cancer.
EpiPen?
Yeah, but unfortunately, the cancer market's a $200 billion a year industry. So we're gonna keep on making our $2 billion while you go grow your.
Why the hell would we cure anything? Come on.
So
they cured polio, but then that was like, oh, we missed out on that market.
And as somebody who has lived through cancer, I will say that if it wasn't for marijuana, I don't think I would be here right now.
It's true, he did. And I wouldn't dunk on him for that reason. We would play basketball, and I'd be like, all right, Nate, you ready to play? And he was good. He's got a nice.
I would shoot the threes.
Yeah, he's got a nice set shot. Nate does. but then he would try to drive on me, and I just let him. You know what I mean? Because he had cancer.
Cancer. Which, it was what it was, but I think now,
We
in
actually saw
retrospect.
Jerry Rice. Ladies and gentlemen.
That was before, though.
337-366-8950. Have you seen Jerry Rice?
The GOAT, Jerry Rice. Which actually, Jerry Rice called me at my house.
He did.
Yeah, he called me. It was 94 that happened.
I picked up the phone and I was like, Jerry?
No, he didn't. I was watching Rudy, and Jerry called, and he's like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'm like, "Watching Rudy, man." And he's like, "Oh, that's a good movie." We talked about that for a little bit. But as we mentioned, you ever seen the Zeitgeist?
I have.
Yeah, well, I have some notes from the Zeitgeist that took like years ago, but it's got some 9/11 notes. So,
Oh, that's coming up right now.
9/11 today's what, the 8th? So 3 days, that's Sunday, actually.
Is that 15 years?
15 years.
Oh my.
Which is also the 3-year anniversary from the Benghazi attacks.
Holy moly.
And about the 12-year anniversary of the Spain train bombing attacks. 9/11 is like Terror Day.
How's it go? Sound of Music.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
Was laying in the Spain, the planes in Spain go lightly down the train.
Yeah. But I've read a conspiracy before that claims, well, it's
Claims.
a research conspiracy, that technically Jesus was born on 9/11, and I guess these secret society leaders of the world kind of want to tarnish that day by having it as known by other evil stuff.
Technically, Jesus was born on 9/11. That sounds like a crock of... You know what?
Well, it was legend and written in scrolls, certain
Right.
places, I
Sure.
suppose. I'm sure they had some backing for it.
Whatever. Batman.
But yeah, the American Zeitgeist, if you haven't checked that out on YouTube, it is definitely worth watching. It's got a few different parts. It talks about the formation of religion and how a lot of, I guess, many religions, Christianity included, were kind of ripped off of Egyptian religions to a certain degree. Which we can get into that another time. Also, 9/11 gets into that, and in the banking system, and it kind of breaks it down in an understandable way. That was kind of one of those documentaries that I watched in college that made the light go off. Kind of made me wake up.
What did you call it? The documentary itself?
The Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist is okay. Get the Ring of Power. That's a
Ring
good
of Power. That was a good one
That's
as well.
a real good one.
But-
it goes into detail.
This 9/11 thing, folks, come on. Yeah.
Actually, I've known Nene for a long time, and it hurt me deep when it first happened. But he was already no, there's no way. He was already on the conspiracy side of things, already starting to question, what happened, and there's no way that these people could have gotten into American airspace and done these things, and I gotta admit, he's right.
Well, and if anything, I want to give credit to AOC. I want to
Absolutely.
give credit to the Freedom Forum and Mr. Tom, because ultimately, when I was in college, and I remember when I was working for UL's football team at the time, and I saw that documentary on AOC that they were showing on the Freedom Forum that pretty much showed evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence after evidence
AOC.
that this is not true. So big props to AOC. That was over 10,
Tell
15 years
Acadiana
ago.
what AOC stands for.
Acadiana Open Channel,
Open Channel. 337.
which means, we want to hear from you.
366-8950.
So, 9/11, was it a controlled demolition? Basically, a concrete pulverized explosions. The myth was there was 19 hijackers, some of which were still seen alive after it happened. Bin Laden was in charge of everything. There's 4 planes that the terrorists took over with box cutters. And then these buildings collapsed because of a pancake. Like, I guess just like they outweighed and then they dropped, even though it's never happened in human history.
We went into Iraq and all of a sudden, what's his nuts? We found him in the bunker.
Well, there's weapons
Saddam
of
Hussein,
mass destruction.
right, yeah.
Even though the Iraq was one of the only 7 countries at the time that
most
didn't have a Rothschild
costliest
bank.
The most money we've ever paid. For nothing.
But ultimately, there was no warnings.
But Donald Trump was against that war, by the way.
So, interesting thing about 9/11 on that day, they were actually running a drill. They were doing exercises. The military was doing exercises that planes were going to be hijacked.
Heard about that.
And then it really happened. And the same thing happened in Spain. They were doing drills that day for whenever the train had gotten hijacked.
You're kidding, right? This is just an exercise. You're kidding, right? No, man. People are dying. Oh, well, okay. Let me redirect my jet airplane.
Right. Apparently Bin Laden, who was in charge of all this, there was intelligence before, so there was warnings about 9/11. But apparently the Bush family had been doing oil business with the Bin Laden family for over 50 years.
Condoleezza Rice had the layouts that said planes will run into buildings.
Oh, sure. Well, and I even remember that Osama bin Laden's brother went to UL during 9/11 when he was flown out safely with the rest of his family out of America. But yeah, bin Laden's brother was a UL student. I don't know if he finished his degree there.
Is it true that Richard Simmons went to UL?
I'm not sure. I did hear Richard Simmons got a sex change.
Come on.
Yeah.
No. He's always been a manly man, I thought.
The aerobics instructor guy?
Yeah.
No, he got a sex change.
Thought, he was manly.
Oh, well, no,
In his,
apparently he got a sex change. Yeah. So,
I
not very manly. Not very manly.
I thought so.
Let's see. Any other thing interesting about 9/11? Yeah, the whole 9/11 commission was kind of a joke as well.
Well, the plane flew into the building, and then one of the terrorists' wallet flew out, and then flew out of the building and into some dust, and they found that, and they were like, "Oh, clearly,
All right.
clearly
it's got to be the terrorist."
Can you believe it?
And prior to the buildings collapsing from the pancake theory, they had people actually looking out of the holes.
Jaboom, jaboom, jaboom,
You know,
jaboom,
and-
jaboom, jaboom. That's not how I remember it. It was.
Pretty much, they had explosions 20 floors below.
Come on.
Which actually I saw footage
Building
of
7.
Building 7. We're going to get to that in just a second, but I saw a picture of the plane and it went slow motion, and you could tell that the second plane was CGI'd into the building.
The wing disappeared.
Yeah, behind a building,
and then reappeared.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
so it's and then apparently it was just an explosion.
Dude, Ninja Turtles was a better movie than they did with the planes. Come on.
But apparently the World Trade Center had even been owned by the city of New York until only a couple years earlier. Pretty much he fired.
A Jew owned it.
Yeah, well, he fired his entire staff, his security staff, and then replaced them, and then they apparently set the
I heard
explosions.
there were no Jews in that building whenever those planes got there.
Every
Every Jew in that building got a memo.
Well, and once again, going back to that article I read on the Rothschilds again.
Zionists.
it made a difference between the two different types of Jews, and apparently there's this Jews from Georgia or something like that.
They are different.
They're like a different kind of Jew than the actual Gentiles or
Right.
whatever. And that's what the Rothschilds are. And, in order to get into their secret club,
There's families.
you have to have, be born of a mother that can do that.
Everybody's born of a mother, by the way.
Well, right.
Aliens.
So yeah, ultimately 9/11 though, it changed our world. It took away a lot of our freedoms with the Patriot Act. Now we're in it's created the world that we live in today where the NSA can spy on you. Pretty much America funds and trains a bunch of American terrorist organizations, that, are our supposed enemies. We are pretty much blatant about our military, muscle.
Gumshoe, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just kind of depressing.
Well, if you ask Donald Trump, we're weak, military-wise. So, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. Do you feel weak? I don't know.
Well, and I mean, it seems as though each
Those
one
little
of these...
Iranian boats, remember? There was like 7 of them that came towards this little ship that was doing work for the U.S. And, of course, they wanted to blow them out the water, but they didn't. So...
Well, I mean, it basically prepared us for a war. And, really kind of, it corrupted the media. It corrupted, it made this politically correct society to a certain degree. The spy society. And, so that's kind of the world we live in. And so it's 15 years since. Is the world a better place?
No.
No, I don't think so either. But we can do something about it, folks. And, he who sacrifices their freedoms for security deserves neither of them.
Yeah.
Benjamin Franklin.
Like, Nick saw it from the beginning. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is happening. But like,
I didn't see it from the very beginning.
Well, I mean, it was a true. To me, it seems like a big giant lie, doesn't it?
Right, but at the time I was heartbroken.
And like since then, like the lies have just been happening, and we're just like, oh, another lie. You know what I mean? Like we kind of like,
we're sensitized to it.
Right, another lie.
Well, and I mean, I think with millennials now, they did a poll recently that millennials basically aren't getting their news from mainstream media anymore because nobody trusts them. They don't trust the biased news. So eventually, once people in this generation shifts to start thinking kind of online media that are a little more, I guess you could say, liberal and even open-minded.
Right.
Like kind of some of the stuff we talk about. There's more access to those kind of thoughts, and that's the revolutionary kind of mind that we need
And
this
guess
young
what they're
generation
doing right
to get
now,
behind.
Nick? They're already starting to put a stop sign on the internet. They already,
definitely.
there's things in the books. Obama is definitely going to put an end to this, what they say, we shouldn't let this, like, they called it the Wild Wild West.
Sure.
They called the internet the Wild Wild West. Like it was just a bunch of gunslingers.
Well, as far as like people hacking your information and banking information.
We have to muzzle the truth.
Well, sure.
You know what I mean? And the only way we can get truth is through the internet. There's no way you can turn on Fox News or CNN or Clinton News Network.
Opinions are
There's
bought
no
and paid
way.
for.
Yeah, you can't. You can't find. I mean, if you sift through it, you can definitely find an inkling of truth. But the only way you're going to find any truth is through the internet. And some of these places, I won't name them, but like they have a bit of truth in them. You know what I mean? And like even like sifting through their lies is tough. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
And that's why us are the younger generation they aren't getting their news from those old cronies on CNN or Fox or NBC or CBS, because all those opinions are out of touch with real life. And I think people smell the crap. But I heed warning to you folks, this very well could just be there, just piling up the crap against us right now, just so they can manufacture.
This election season.
Well, right.
So
Well, they are manufacturing the revolution, pretty much, to where, hey, let's all fight for our one world government. We all want to get along and have world peace. But they're going to create the one world government.
Hey, Nick, let me ask you, have you been hearing about this? If Hillary Clinton wins, then we're going to have this. Or if Trump wins, then there's
the
gonna
whole
be
damn
this.
country's
Can you
going to
believe
riot
that?
on election night.
Right. I mean, unbelievable.
And that's why the majority of the country, if they could, would vote for none of the above.
Yeah, well, not the majority.
I tend to disagree, but I don't know.
I don't. And this,
I think people just want to have to vote Democrat or Republican just because they know that those are the only two that stand a real shot to win. So they don't want to waste their vote on a third party, so to speak.
Oh, man, this D-bag Gary Johnson.
I like Gary Johnson, but he got some bad publicity earlier because he didn't know something about Syria that somebody asked him.
Please don't, ladies and gentlemen, Acadiana, please don't.
I probably will.
Please don't.
But because I will never vote for Hillary, and I can't see myself really voting for Trump either. I don't know. It might just be, not that my vote counts for crap anyways, because the Electoral College pretty much, and I guess the rigged polls, also.
Hey, did you hear that the UN and other aspects of the worldly are going to watch this election because they believe that it can be rigged or it will be rigged.
Oh, well.
So the world is watching.
If the Democrats rigged the DNC, well, what makes you think they're not going to rig the presidency? The media's already rigged for Hillary anyways.
It's going to be hard this year. Remember the hanging Chad? That was one of my first times voting. Remember in Florida, the hanging Chad? They put their stuff in and it was a Chad was a vote for it was Bush versus what's his nuts Al Gore, and the hanging Chad was a vote, but it was pushed through almost, but not really.
Oh yeah, and
so they're saying a lot of these votes that don't have a paper trail is going to be a lie. So.
Well, and they proved that pretty much part of the 2000 election was rigged for Bush. Gore had negative votes in some of the counties. So how does that happen? With a computer algorithm that rigs freaking elections. That's how it happens.
I remember the votes coming from overseas. People that live overseas were
right.
And
they were still counting whenever the news declared Bush as the winner, and they're like, okay, I guess he's president.
Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be strange.
It's the shadow government, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and Donald Trump actually leads in the polls by 2 points. So
who knows who leads in the polls? I know how many friends I have that like Hillary. I know how many friends I have that like Trump. And Gary Johnson I have. And based off that, which I'm not saying that I'm representative of the entire country by any means, but, Trump is going to... He has more votes. He has more supporters than Hillary. From what I've seen just in public. But it's a lot different in California. It's a lot different in New York. It's a lot different in Connecticut and those type of places. They have a different thinking mentality than we do here in Louisiana. But... yeah, Hillary sucks, y'all.
How much time we got left, Nene?
I don't know, about 3 more minutes.
All right.
But yeah, to kind of close out here, we can talk about a little fantasy football. I had 2 drafts this weekend. Just a couple highlights, I suppose. On my first draft, I felt pretty good about it. I got Julio Jones in my first pick, who I didn't even realize broke Jerry Rice's single-season record
already?
For receiving yards last season.
Come on.
Yeah, I did not realize that. Julio let the dogs out.
Hey, who did he play for in college? Ladies and gentlemen, call in 337-366-8950.
Roll Tide roll, huh? Okay. On that team, my running backs are Doug Martin for Tampa, Carlos Hyde, who I mentioned earlier from San Fran,
I like that.
Andrew Luck.
I like that, Doug Martin.
Yeah. Well, and you know how I research contract years. It's his contract year, so he's
Better
going to do
step
good.
up, son.
You know, because they're trying to get that money, y'all. You get paid for the season before. You don't get
No,
paid.
it doesn't work every time, though, because sometimes they're ready for another team, another contract. They will do poorly because they know they're going to do well in another team next year.
That's true. But my one saint on that team is Willie Snead. We don't want it. We sneed it.
Yeah.
On my other team, Show Me Your TDs, which you remember that show we used to do, right? I do have Drew Brees. I got him in like the 5th round.
No crap.
Well, I mean, like in those leagues, it's not PPR, so it's like you just draft the crap out of running backs and receivers first.
Is
You know,
that
so
a 10-man league? Or?
no, they were both 12-man leagues.
Oh, good.
But I got Drew Brees, Adrian Peterson, Jeremy Hill from LSU, and he plays at Cincinnati now. Alshon Jeffrey, Demaryius Thomas. So I mean, some decent teams. Ebony and Chris Ivory. So I'm looking forward to football season, even though it's probably as rigged as wrestling is. Not as rigged, but still kind of rigged. Drew Brees. I probably won't go to the game, though, this Sunday because it's 9/11 and I don't want to get blown up in the dome. Even though I don't think that's going to happen. But the Saints might get blown up by the Raiders' defense is what I'm worried about. Because they're going to be getting after that ball.
A lot of people have Dallas pegged this year.
Well, Romo's out for a season just about.
No, but they're saying like the rest of the team is the bee's knees.
I'm not necessarily sure of the Cowgirls.